Judah, which swear by the name of the Most High, and make mention of the Most High power of Israel, but not in truth, not according to the laws of the Most High, not in righteousness, not doing what's right. So that's prophecy. Of all just breaking down Micah 5 and 2. Even with going back to John 1 and 10. He was in the world. The world was made by him, and the world knew him not. See, he was in the world. That's why you look at another one. John 17, he praying to the Most High in the flesh. He praying to the Most High. Let's look at what he said in verse 5. John 17 and 5. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. See? From everlasting. So it's all here. Let's see. Look at Luke 2 and 4. Luke 2 and 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David. He was a Judite, from the tribe of Judah, to be taxed with Mary, his spouse wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she bought for her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. So he was born in Bethlehem, as it is prophesied he would be born. Now how the Most High do it? That's on the Most High. We don't challenge the Most High. See, look at verse 2. Luke 2 and 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made with Cyrenius, when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. There wasn't no Esau's 12th month, the 25th day when he was born. Anybody traveling? Joseph went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea. I don't think so. It'd be cold back there. It was in the springtime when he was born. Right around the time of the Passover. Yep. Let's look at time for his birth. Daniel's 9, the 9th chapter. Go to Daniel's, the 9th chapter. Daniel's, the 9th chapter. In the 25th verse. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the prince shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times, see. And that's when you look at a time for his birth. It's a time when they decided, okay, we're going to start taxing the people, putting tribute on us. See, people don't look at it thinking that the world we in is just, without doing any research, to realize They've been doing this, taxing and bringing tribute on people. Came by troublous times. Let's deal with that troublous time. Let's look at what Mashayach Yahawashi said in Matthew, first and foremost. Matthew 11 and 11. Troublous times. Verily I say unto you, among them that were born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Talking about John the Baptist, who was Mashayach Yahawashi's cousin, who led the way and actually baptized Mashayach Yahawashi. It was time for his ministry, which starts at 30 years old. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. Those that are least in the kingdom are greater than John the Baptist. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven, which the kingdom of heaven within us, the children of Israel, suffereth violence. Hear that? Troublous times, it said. Because who was ruling? The Romans. So-called Italian Caucasians, who part of earth. So we as the children of Israel suffer violence. Listen to what he say. And the violent take it by force. The violent people took us by force. They took us all the way by force. And we fought with them between 65 AD to 70 AD. And they brought us down. As it is written. In 70 AD. Look, go to Luke 19, 19th chapter. Look at Luke 19 and Luke 21:20 first. Okay. Luke 21:20. It says, and when ye shall see Jerusalem, where we are at, compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. When you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, what armies would it be? The Roman legions, the Roman armies. The so-called Italian Caucasians, who was the super of earth at the time, compassed Jerusalem with armies, their armies. Didn't know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Troublous times, he said. Remember? So, who is this that compassed us? Listen to what it says they did. And he told us in Luke 19 and 43. For the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side. See? Because people talk about the Mashayach Yahawashi never went against the so-called white man. Here it is right here. Who's super out of earth? What armies gonna surround us if it's not the Romans? The so-called Italian Caucasian armies that surrounded us. This is what he called them. For the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemies, not your friends, your enemies, shall cast a trench about thee. Dug a trench around us. And compass thee round. He said, we see the city compassed with armies. These are the so-called Italian Caucasian armies and all those that were with them. For the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, kill you, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. See? Then you know that they are the enemies that he said. Who is it that surrounded us? He said, when you see The city compassed with armies. What armies? We didn't have no armies like that, like the Romans had. From the Greeks to the Romans. Come on now. Troublous times. And you know what they did? You read about what they did. That's why I say, why aren't they talking about this Holocaust in Psalm 79 chapter? O Most High, the heathen, these Romans, are coming to thine inheritance. Inheritance what? Into his land. The land of Israel, where we're at, Jerusalem. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. We just read, he told us. There was a trench around us, couldn't get out. That's why he said, got to leave, get out of there. Before they start building that trench. The dead bodies of thy servants, these are the Israelites, have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heaven, and the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. The beast was eating us up. Birds were eating us up. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem. There was none to bury them. So this is not talking about during King David's reign on this earth, people. King David put all nations under subjection to Israel. That's why his son, King Solomon, had peace for 40 years. King David had war for 40 years. And all nations were subject to Israel. This talking about the prophecy of David, a prophet, prophesying what happened to us in 70 AD. Singing these songs. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. Our blood was just flowing through the city. We are becoming a reproach and disgrace to our neighbors, a scorn and derision to them that are round about us. How long, Most High? Will thou be angry forever? Shall our jealousy burn like fires? That we knew the Most High put this on us. Nothing that they could accomplish on their own. Without the Most High telling us what he was going to do to us. In those curses. For not following his laws, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations. Everybody want to do what they want to do. When this go down, I don't know what to tell you. Say, pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. They have devoured Jacob and laid waste his dwelling place. But remember not against us former iniquities, former sins, Most High. Let thy tender mercies speedily prevent us, for we are brought very low. You can see it. Our blood flowed through the city like water. The buzzards and the birds were eating us up. Wild animals eating our bodies. It wasn't buried. Help us, O Most High, of our salvation, for the glory of thy name, and deliver us, and purge away our sins, for thy name's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is their power? Where is your power? Power of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Where he at now? Let him be known among the heathen in our sight, by the revenging of the blood of thy servants which is shed. That's real boastful. Ain't nobody crying about this. If y'all call yourself the real, true, ethnic, biblical Jews. This was a hell of a Holocaust. You hear that? Wherefore should the heathen say, where is their power? Let him be known among the heathen in our sight, by the revenging of the blood of thy servants which is shed. I mean, that's real boastful. But the Most High is long suffering, but he will not acquit the wicked. You're going to meet them face to face. Let the sign of the prisoner come before thee, according to the greatness of thy power. Preserve thou those that are appointed to die. I mean, a lot of us were in captivity. They were scattered among all these nations. And render unto our neighbors sevenfold into their bosom their reproach. All them saying, where your power? Where the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Let him revenge the blood that we're going to shed and have shed of all you Israelites. And render unto our neighbors sevenfold into their bosom their reproach, wherewith they have reproached thee, O Most High. See? What are they saying? Where is he at? We tearing you up like they doing something on their own. See, that's the problem. Not knowing what these scriptures is talking about, the understanding. So why? So we thy people and sheep of thy pasture will give thee thanks forever. We will show forth thy praise to all generations, now Lord Yah. So they're thinking, okay, well, they're thinking, okay, they're doing it themselves, right? But oh, that's not true. That's not the case. When you understand these scriptures, look, go to Baruch, the 4th chapter, and the 6th verse in the Apocrypha, excuse me, Baruch 4 and 6. You were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies. See? For you provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High. That's why I say learn not the way of the heathen. Because the Gentiles sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High. You have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and you have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. See? Where we at now? We in Jerusalem. We're talking about when they compassed the city with armies and took us down in 70 AD. When she saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, she said, hearken, listen, O ye that dwell about Zion, the Most High hath brought upon me great mourning, for I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. See? The Most High brought this upon us, not because they thinking that they all this, that, and the third, mighty and so forth. Because you look, one-on-one, we much stronger and powerful than them. But the Most High was the everlasting brought upon them, you see? The Most High brought this upon us for departing from him. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. Just like we read now. So let no man rejoice over me. A widow. The land says a widow because we're not there. That's the children of Israel. A widow. And forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children I am left desolate, because they departed from the law of the Most High. And I tell you that you don't have to follow his laws. All this happened to us because we departed from the laws of the Most High. They knew not his statutes, like a lot of you out there don't know his statutes now. Say, we ain't under the law. It's the same people, same spirits. They don't know the statutes of the Most High. They don't know the laws of the Most High. nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. So let them that dwell about Zion come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting, hear that? Which the everlasting hath brought upon them. For he brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. See? So it's all prophesied. Here we are. This land is my land, this land is your land, it ain't none of our land. We here, but it ain't none of our land. None of our land. And even the indigenous ones that was here, it ain't their land either. Don't they have rules and regulations that they set up to say this is where it is? What rules and regulations do the people, indigenous people of this land, since this is my land, your land, that they have created, that they gotta follow? What land is what land is that? Look at Jeremiah 31 and 15. Jeremiah 31 and 15. Thus said the Most High, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation, bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children because they were not. See, what's this talking about? It was killing us. Herod was killing the babies 2 years and under. Go to Matthew the 2nd chapter. He sent the wise men. Remember, he sent the wise men out and lied to them. Talking about, he said, verse 8, Matthew 2 and 8, and he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when you have found him, bring me word again. Tell me where he's at, that I may come and worship him also. That was a lie. You know it was a lie. Y'all can believe if y'all want to. Psalms 58:3 say this: the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So, it also tells us this. And the understanding of these scriptures through the precepts. And Ecclesiastes 12 and 10 in the Apocrypha. It said, never trust thine enemy. It would say, never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So, I take a little time for iron to rust. But before it's all over, he let you know that they're going to show their wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed of him and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. You're going to know that his rust ain't always been wiped away. Because he's still going to be lying. See? Set him not by thee, and set him next to you. At least, when he have overthrown thee, He stand up in thy place. He gonna stand in your place. Infiltrate you and want to be where you at. You let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. Thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. See? You can't play with this. You got to understand. That's why you got to know these scriptures. That's why I say you got to be spiritual. When you see things, you bring it back to the knowledge of what you have learned, what these scriptures are saying, giving you instructions, giving you understanding, giving you rules and regulations of how to operate, so you know. So he talking about he want to come and worship him, right? So let's jump down in verse 16. So the wise men went another way. They didn't go back to tell him where he was at. So verse 16 says, then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under. All the children 2 years old and under, he killed, murdered. And according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. See? There was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, what we just read, in Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping and great mourning. Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted because they are not. We just read, that's prophecy. He was killing every last baby 2 years old and under. But you understand, the Most High kill. The Most High make alive. See? That's why you gotta understand things, because it is the Most High that bring forth the judgments. Even because it's like, wow, how can he do that? But look at Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, you would think a 2-year-old child would be innocent. Or where would a righteous cut off? Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. By the blast of the Most High they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. Deuteronomy 32, 39. See now that even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. See? Say he wound, he heal, he kill, he make alive. The Most High do all these things. So that's why I say, when you look at how he told us to follow him, and we'll be blessed. If we don't, we'll be cursed. Hosea 11 and 1. Hosea 11 and 1. Hosea 11 and 1. When Israel was a child, then I loved him and called my son out of Egypt. See? Look at Matthew 2. Matthew, the 2nd chapter, 14th verse. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod. See, Joseph took Mashayach, Yahawashi, and Mary into Egypt to hide from Herod wanted to kill him. And eventually, who killed him? Who's that killed him? The Roman soldiers. They're the ones who nailed stakes in his hands and his feet. Verse 15, it was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, it is fulfilled, which was spoken of the Most High by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son. See? We just read in Hosea 11 and 1. Israel was a child, and I loved him, and called my son out of Egypt. See? It's twofold. Also, Exodus 4:22. Exodus 4:22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus said the Most High, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. See? Israel is my son, even my firstborn. So it's twofold. He did call his sons out of Egypt. And so we become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on Bahasham Mashayach Yahawashi, to receive that spiritual power of Mashayach Yahawashi going to the Most High giving that power back on this earth. Look at Mashayach Yahawashi going to proceed. Somebody going to be before him. That's Malachi, or Malachi. The book of Malachi is the last prophet in the Old Testament. 3 and 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And the Most High, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, said the power of hosts. See? Which is who? John the Baptist. Another one, before we go there, go to Isaiah 40. Also. Isaiah 40 and 3. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of Mashayach Yahawashi, make straight in the desert a highway for our power. Okay? So, look at Matthew 11. Now, first Matthew 3 and 3. Go there first. Matthew 3 and 3. Well, let's go first to 1, so you know what it is. In those days came John the Baptist, preaching in the wilderness of Judea, and saying, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah, saying, I hope y'all hearing this, because I say it all the time, that there was no New Testament when the Mashayach Yahawashi walked the earth. There's only the law and the prophets. That's why I say don't think, not that I come to destroy the law and the prophets, but to fulfill. And what it say, verse 3? But this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah saying, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Most High, make his path straight. See? And the same John had his raiment of camel's hair and a leathern girdle about his loins, and his meat was locusts and wild honey. And I found locusts. There's a locust tree that have a plant or fruit that come off of it. It said it tastes like chocolate. I haven't tasted it because it said it'd be worms in it, but that's what I heard. So you see all these prophecies, and it's saying the prophet give you the name of the prophet and so forth, and what they said, and we covering that. We covering it. Look at let's see if I got some more on this. Go to Luke 7 and 24. Luke 7:24. Luke 7 and 24. And they came to him and awoke him, saying, Master, Master, we perish. And he arose. So I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. That's them have a little faith. Look at Luke 7 and 24. Salaki on that. Say, and when the messengers of John were departed, he began to speak unto the people concerning John. What went ye out into the wilderness for to see? A reed shaken with the wind? Or what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they which are gloriously apparelled and live delicately are in king's courts. But what went ye out for to see? A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, a much more than a prophet. This is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger. This is he of whom it is written. Where is it written at? In the Old Testament. We just read it. Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. See? The prophecies are here. And it's being said within the New Testament from the Old. Because that's all they had to go by was the Old Testament. But you have to be able to know it, to be able to recognize it, so you know how to deal and understand and overstand this. Thoroughly understand this. Look at Matthew 11:11. Verily I say unto you, Matthew 11:11. Among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from that day, from the days of John the Baptist until now, this is Mashayach speaking, the kingdom of heaven, which is within us, suffereth violence. What did it say? And the violent, who are enemies, as he said in Luke, the 19th chapter, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if you receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. So what is he talking about? Go back to Malachi, the 4th chapter, last prophet in the Old Testament. Malachi 4 5 and 6. Listen, it says, "Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Mashayach Yahawashi. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." So Mashayach Yahawashi told you already. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. Everybody don't have ears to hear. Some people don't believe in regeneration or reincarnation. They don't believe that. But he just said, if you receive it, that was John the Baptist, who came in the spirit of Elijah. Because a lot of people don't understand how your flesh go back to the ground, and the spirit go back to the Most High, and bring you back to the earth to another body, new body. That's how everything operates. So let's look at Luke. We already went to Matthew. Let's look at Luke, the first chapter. Remember, it says, let me make sure you understand. It says, verse 6 of Malachi, the 4th verse, "And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." Right? Let's look at Luke, the first chapter. And let's look, because understand this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can read it yourself. Zacharias and Elizabeth are John the Baptist's father and mother. So the angel Gabriel came to Zachariah, hearing his prayer, and told him that he was going to have a son and call his name John. So let's look at verse 16. From what we just read in Malachi, the 4th chapter, the 5th and 6th verse. "And many of the children of Israel shall he turn to the Most High their power." Why say that? Many of the children of Israel shall he turn to the Most High our power. Because when you understand, go to Acts, the 13th chapter, and 24. Acts 13 and 24. When John had first preached before his coming, before Mashayach coming, the baptism of repentance to all the people of Israel. See? So that's who John the Baptist was baptizing, we, the children of Israel. Going back to Luke, the 1st chapter. Verse 16 again. "And many of the children of Israel," not everybody, "shall he turn to the Most High their power, and he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah." See? The spirit and power, not the flesh, but the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Most High. See? This is what's prophesied. And that's what he did. That's what he was doing. He was baptizing Israelites, telling them to repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Hang in there with me. So let's look at Psalms, the second chapter. Psalms 2. Psalms 2 and 7. Psalms 2 and 7. I will declare the decree. The Most High have said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Say, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Go to Matthew. Thou art my son. Matthew, the third chapter. I hope y'all follow along and seeing this. Matthew 3 and let's look at verse 16 and 17. We're going to concentrate on verse 17. Answering the prophecy, it says, And Mashayach, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of the Most High descending like a dove and lighting upon him. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Mashayach Yahawashi. Say. Look at Acts 13:33. Moses have fulfilled the same unto us. Fulfilled means something that was said that had to come to be in the future. Moses have fulfilled the same unto us, their children, in that he raised up a Mashayach Yahawashi again, as it is also written in the second Psalm, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. See? See? Hebrews, go to Hebrews the first chapter again. Hebrews the first chapter. Hebrews the first chapter. In verse 5. Hebrews 1 and 5. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee, and again I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son? So which angel? None. So you see these prophecies, you say, Lo, I come in the volume of the book, it's written for me. We seeing it. We're seeing him. Go to Isaiah, the 9th chapter. Isaiah, the 9th chapter. Well, so you got to know what Mashayach Yahawashi. Isaiah 9. verse 1. Isaiah 9 and 1. Nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation, when at the first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward did more grievously afflict her by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan in Galilee of the nations, or of the Gentiles, because Gentile only means nations. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shine. See? So, spiritually, you got to understand what he's saying. Like, look where his ministry was. Go to Matthew, 4th chapter. Matthew 4. And look at 13. Matthew 4:13. And leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Capernaum, which is upon the sea coast, in the borders of Zebulun and Naphtali, what we just read about, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. Was Gentile, you look it up, it only means nation. See, it said nations in the Old Testament, but here it's saying Gentiles. Now, a lot of people don't realize. Gentile, Goyim in the modern Hebrew, or Goyim in the ancient Hebrew, means nations. You see, it said nations in the Old Testament. Here it says Gentiles. So a lot of people don't understand that. All nations are Gentiles. You look at it, because it means nations. Nations, Gentiles, means nations. The people which sat in darkness saw great light. And to them which sat in the region of shadow of death, light is sprung up. See? So, look at John 1 and 4. So you see what this light is, first and foremost, and you can see what he brought forth in making them shine, making them be illuminated by the light. St. John 1 and 4. In him was life, and the light was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness. That's him. Shining in darkness, ignorance, and the darkness, the people that are in darkness or ignorant, comprehend it not. That's why I keep saying, you're not spiritual, then you're not really comprehending this.